All right, so we're back. And speaking of BS, let's start with some wild, wild headlines. Mr. Mayweather. You see this crazy nonsense?
Hmm.
This guy is suing for $340 million. Somebody clearly swindled him out of all kinds of money. And, I get confused when we've seen this so many times. We've seen this from so many celebrities, athletes, movie stars, whatever it is. They get involved with the wrong money manager, accountant, manager, whatever it is, and they just get taken for. And I'm confused on how these people haven't figured out how to avoid that yet.
Well, he's saying that Showtime is the one that swindled him, so they didn't pay him. And he said, and somebody they supposedly sent the money to the wrong person, something like that.
Well, this is more of a intentional thing. So he's claiming they owe because a complex web of hidden accounts, unauthorized transactions, and deliberate concealment of financial records. That's a whole bigger thing than just not getting paid.
Right.
So I don't know, man. That's wild. And I mean, of course, he'll blow that out at a casino in Vegas on a weekend, but with how that guy throws money around, that's still insane. That's an insane amount of money. I can only imagine who figured that out for him, who came to that total. That must have
Right.
taken either he's just throwing a dart at the board and guessing how much it is, or he had
Right.
somebody actually like do like a fraud analyst inspection on it, because that's a ton of money.
That's a lot of money, man.
That's wild. So that just came up. I was really curious to kind of dive into that one. Um, I mean, to have that kind of money and have it lost in a sense, and not necessarily even realize it until later on down the road, shows you how much money this guy has, which is insane.
Well, I mean, he don't have to. He don't pay attention to his money because he don't need it like that.
That's my point. He just throws it around. It's wild. So let's stick with boxing because this was the most viral thing I've seen in a while. Set the stage for us, Vic. Let's just talk about the boxers. Talk about what kind of fight it was, and then just talk to us because you got to watch the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
So just break it down for our audience. I'll get a clip of this so they can really see it because just talking about it doesn't do it justice. You really got to see how this played out.
Gave me really. I was like, I was watching the fight. It was before the main fight of the Stevenson, and so what happened is I kept watching it, and the guy every time he got hit, I'm noticing his hair, and I'm like, what? I'm looking like, what is wrong with this dude's hair? And I watched it one round, I watched it the next round, and all of a sudden he kept every time his head would snap back, his hair would like flap in the air. And so the final time when he hit him, it came up and stayed up and just like it flipped back, and he he grabbed the toupee and hairpiece, whatever you want to call it, bad hair job, and grabbed it and tossed it out on a seat on the front row.
Is going to make the rounds on social media. That's like a cartoon.
Oh my goodness gracious.
It is a toupee.
And he just took it up and threw it into the crowd.
So
And
the craziest thing is he won the fight.
yeah,
I mean,
it's good.
that's the wild thing.
It's a good thing that he did because
Ooh.
if I mean, yeah, they made memes out of him anyway.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
had he lost,
I just, man, like I don't get embarrassed easily. Like it doesn't bother me, but obviously he's insecure with his hairline, right? He feels the need to throw some fake hair on instead of just shaving his head bald. Um, Man, I mean, in front of a live audience that
oh yeah,
big, in front
oh
of
yeah,
that many people, and again, it's recorded, it's video, it can just spread to social media like that, which it did because who's ever seen that?
Madison Square Garden. That's where it
And
took place.
I want to know the conversation he had with his guy afterwards, saying, "Oh yeah, that glue it'll stay on. Don't worry about it. Even when you're sweating, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Don't worry about it." Man, that thing just
I know it was
flapping
lame,
in the wind, dude.
right? Oh,
So
but
that was wild. Wow. And
it
I'll
was
definitely get a
wild,
video of that because I just couldn't believe that one.
right? I mean, that was cool. That was a good one.
All right,
But
let's jump into the NBA because it is trade deadline and there
as
are
of
all
a lot.
kinds of trades, man. Holy cow. I couldn't even keep
So
up with them.
Anthony Davis, he got traded to the Wizards. And
I mean,
that,
that was the most infamous trade in quite some time, for
yeah,
sure.
but I mean, even trading him, bro, he just can't stay healthy. I mean, even in a trade, he's not healthy. because he's not even playing right now.
Right. Well, that's the other thing too. Is it's funny that somebody sees value in him.
Right.
You get potential, sure, but he hasn't lived up to it much at all over his career because of injuries.
Right. And then you have they just had another trade. The Cavaliers traded Lonzo Ball and 2 picks to the Jazz in the 3-team trade. So they're still working out. They're still working on all the logistics on that one.
Yeah, what's crazy about that one is they're saying that Ball's going to become a free agent once
Yeah.
the trade goes through.
You know, they're probably and that well, that's the same thing. Oh, also, Chris Paul got traded to the Toronto Raptors.
Okay, so they finally made that official, huh?
So they traded him, and they told him this is what Toronto said: you got traded, but you don't have to report to the team.
Nice. That's awesome. So they just took it as like a cap hit, like they
No,
just
they
took on
probably
his salary and
they look at it. They probably send him on somewhere else, or just release him.
that's what I'm saying. But what's the point of trading him if you know he's just
It,
a number in the deal basically.
it gets him off the Clippers books.
Well, yeah, I get that, and out of their freaking bench because that's where he was causing all the problems. coaching as a bench warmer, telling him how to do things, and the coach is countering
I'm
that.
not doing nothing. So, what do you think? Who do you think so far of the trades that you've read? Who do you think is going to be the? How do you think Harden is going to benefit Cleveland?
I mean, I think that'll be helpful. I think that. Well, see, that's a problem with Harden. You don't know. Everybody who trades for him thinks he's the answer, and he has not been.
Right.
It is an interesting move by Cleveland because a move like that seems like, hey, we have to win now, which
Right.
to me was the opposite of what they were doing. They were really young. They performed better than they should have a couple of years ago, and they stayed good the last couple of years. But going with a move like that just seems like, oh, we're in a really big hurry to try to win now. And
Right.
I don't know. I don't think that's the solution. I don't think he is. These trades are very interesting because even if you look at Luka, Lakers aren't winning a championship this year,
No.
right? Now, depending on who you ask, the reason why they're not going to be able to win a championship is because LeBron's hanging on and taking a huge chunk of that salary, so they can't get other players. But hey, that was their choice. They brought him on board in the first place. But if somebody like Luka can't go to a team and immediately turn them into a title-winning team, I mean, really, who can? I mean, he's top 5 in the league. He's the leading scorer this year. I mean, so I don't know. I think trying to make those big moves to me is always a mistake. I think you're going to pay a ton of money, and you're
Right.
not going to get much out of it.
Well, of course, Luke was always going to get his. He can get his anyway.
Right, but that's my point is you got to build a team. You don't even have to build a all-star.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
But that's what these teams continue to try to do, which is crazy to me. I mean, you think about the Sixers, they just got 4 draft picks. So, I mean, in that mind, you're trying to think, how can we build a team? But, it's crazy.
They're saying that you can see possibly Giannis deal in about 8 hours.
He's still. Well, I know he's pushing for it, right?
Yeah.
So
They're talking about Golden State.
oh my God,
That's what they're talking
and
about.
they're gonna trade what's his face, right?
Draymond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be a hell of a trade off for Washington.
You got some trades that some of the guys don't even know. Like the Hawks got Jock Landale from the Jazz. I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like they just unloading salaries.
I'm still just kind of blown away by that Philly trade, though. I mean, Oklahoma City's given up 3 second rounds and a first round. That's wild.
Why?
Why is that wild?
No, why are they giving up all that?
I know. For Jared McCain, I mean, they're already the top team in the league.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I guess that's another example of a team saying we're going to win now. We're going to win now for the next year or two, hopefully, and then not worry about our team in a couple of years. But that's giving away a lot.
It says Cleveland is also interested in Cam Thomas from the Nets.
Nice.
And John Morant does not want to go to the Kings.
Yeah, I could imagine that one.
Come on, bro. Just go ahead and go, man.
Yeah, So
Nobody.
crazy trades, man. I'm still trying to figure out how this is all going to land and play out because there's just so many moving pieces, and it's going to impact the teams for the next couple of seasons because of all these draft picks getting traded. So
Well, the Bulls traded Kobe White. That's one of their best players
yeah, man, I don't know.
to the Hornets.
It's going to be interesting to say the least.
But the one that blew me away was still the AD trade. I mean,
Yeah,
you got so this is who they got. The Wizards, they got Anthony Davis along with D'Angelo Russell, Jaden Hardy, and Dante Exum. They all went to the Wizards. The Dallas got Chris Middleton, A.J. Johnson, Malachi Brown, Marvin Bagley III, and two first-round picks. Hey, no, listen to this. Two first-round picks and three second-round picks. Bro, come on.
yeah. Who do you think you won in this one? I mean, you got the number one pick last year, which was
Yep.
again the craziest fluke.
Right,
But Cooper Flag is just an animal.
right.
And you already have a solid team. You have a couple of veterans if they stay healthy. I mean, you have a really solid team here. So, and you got some youth coming in, and then you get a bunch of draft picks over the next couple of seasons.
Yeah.
That's
5 picks, bro.
pretty wild.
5
I mean, it
picks.
does go into 2030, so they pushed out really far. But a team like Washington, like you're giving up that many picks. I'm confused on how the Wizards got all those picks in the first place because not a single one of theirs was theirs originally.
Well, it's probably from other teams. 'Cause
They
you know,
are.
How about that? Other teams traded them. Hey, I trade you this for this guy. Trade, and they're not going anywhere anyway. So I guess they figured, you know what, we might as well use some of these picks to try to. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, it's wild. So they got a OKC, a Golden State, a Phoenix, a Chicago, and a Houston pick.
That's what I'm saying. They're not. That's not a destination for an NBA. Hey, you know what? I think I want to get traded to the Wizards. Going to play for them, bro, is like being in a witness protection program.
Yeah.
They go there and just think. Have you heard? Okay. Have you heard anything about Trae Young since he got traded there?
Exactly. That's why they're also giving this Wizard a pretty low grade because your last trade didn't pan out so far, and now you're trying to get a big guy who's constantly injured. How's that going to work out for you?
So Giannis is saying he's saying he wants to be in Milwaukee, but he wants to win. He said, I want to win.
See, now he's changing his tune a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be surprised if they trade him. I don't know who's gonna be willing to pay. Actually, I don't know. After seeing some of these trades, who knows? I mean, it might be multiple teams willing just to throw away their next 4 years of future for him. I guess I don't know.
Why? Hey, think about something. He can't stay. He's not staying healthy either, bro.
No.
He's getting hurt too.
Now, a team like Golden State, I can see they are trying to keep Steph there for his career. They're trying to get him another ring. I could see them trying to reach for a player like that to see if they can pull off one more run.
Bro, they're not going anywhere. Jimmy Butler's gone for the season.
Yeah, I know.
I'm saying, so you got Steph and everybody else.
Well, I mean, Steph's a lot.
Yeah, but Steph can't carry them by himself.
But what's funny about that, to your point, you got Luka and LeBron on the team, and they're not doing crap. I mean,
Not
they're
really.
above 500, but
they were missing. I'm gonna tell you who they were missing for real. They were missing Austin Reeves.
for sure.
He's back
yeah,
now.
yeah.
He's back now. So
Well, yeah, this is going to be really interesting to see how it finishes off the next couple hours and then really to see how these teams react to all these moves because, I mean, we're getting into the nitty-gritty, and there's a couple teams who have already established themselves as clear favorites on both conferences. So
you know what's holding up the Warriors deal with Giannis?
what's that?
It says the Bucks are reluctant to take Draymond Green.
Yeah, no kidding. Yes.
Well, Giannis. Well, but you're gonna get Draymond. What?
Yeah, I mean, clearly they're gonna be throwing a bunch of picks that way too. Which I don't. I mean, again, I wouldn't see that as being a good idea, but I can see why they're gonna try and stretch and make that push.
LeBron's not going nowhere. They said he's gonna finish the season with the Lakers.
Yeah.
This year, next year, who knows?
So you know what is funny, and I didn't really think about this, but they're spot on based off of his ego and what he thinks of himself. I would actually now be very surprised if this is his last season because he's definitely going to be the one type of player who's going to want to have this like season-long finale
Oh, you
and
already
like
know it.
send-off. So
You know that's going to happen.
so yeah, I didn't think about it like that, but when somebody put it that way, I'm like, oh yeah, he's probably not done this season because
No.
he's not getting
So,
all the accolades, all the attention, all the fanfare that he wants for his
yeah.
last final season.
So if he
So
come back next year to play next year,
yeah,
he'd be his farewell tour, and
it was
you know
pretty
what?
crazy though with all that news getting leaked about how the Lakers are just sick of him and want him gone.
Yeah, the the owner, former owner, who's now sold majority of the team. She said they said that they had enough. They couldn't deal with him anymore.
Well, I mean, you should have known that going into it. I mean, he's a big personality in a different kind of way. I mean, he's not a Draymond Green kind of personality in that
Right.
sense, but he's definitely obviously it's LeBron, so
I mean,
comes with a
yeah,
lot. Comes with a lot of expectations, a lot of
it is,
things you
but
got to do with that.
that's one thing about these athletes and their egos, man. They play good, but the more famous and the more popular that they get, they let their egos take over. You know, what happened back in the days, Jordan and all those guys, they may have had egos, but they played together.
Well, and that's that to me is one of the biggest things is you only had an ego when you could back it up. Because back
It-
then, if you came onto that court with an ego, there's somebody who's going to punch you in the mouth and
oh yeah,
tell you to
no,
keep your, you know what I mean?
literally,
Yeah,
literally,
exactly.
punch you in the mouth.
So you didn't have that fake idea of who you were. You couldn't just, be this flamboyant, over the top person and think that you're the
Right.
greatest player in the world when these players are going to show you you're not.
Oh yeah,
They're
like
going to put it to you.
just like Charles Barkley said, these guys today, they're too friendly. He
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
they want to shake hands and hug and go hang out. Charles said it. He said, back in my day, he said, he said, I ain't trying to hang out with these guys. He said, you want to beat the hell out of the visiting team. You ain't trying to go out and have dinner with them and nothing like that. Nah.
Well,
Just
nowadays they're all starting podcasts and everything together too.
traveling together. Hey, let's take
Yeah.
a vacation, man. I know we beat you guys, but that's all right, bro. We'll all go on vacation and hang out.
Yeah, which
Nah.
is funny because you don't see that in the NFL. Like you saw the 49ers, like the core group of guys, they all went to I think Mexico and went on an awesome trip. I saw them golfing out there.
Yeah, you see Kittle
Yeah, dude. That's my boy, man. That's how you do it right there, dude.
trying to play golf on crutches. I got this.
He got one of those like cannon clubs where he just sticks it in front of the ball and just shoots the ball out. It was dope. Yeah, it's definitely different. These guys are definitely way too friendly. And I also think it did kind of start with LeBron though creating these like powerhouse teams. So now suddenly you had all these huge players with big personalities playing on the same team together, which you never really saw back in the day. You didn't have those kind of trades or those moves to free agency and
Right.
building these, all-star teams. So that in itself created a lot more camaraderie between them, even though they didn't last for more than a few years. But yeah, you see that a lot more now. I mean, so it's
my
pretty
thing
crazy.
my thing is, you got these guys who are forcing these teams to trade them. Hey, I'm not gonna play because what they said was, remember they was complaining about, well, James Harden, he ain't played the last two games. Well, the story comes out, they were behind the scenes trying to figure out a team to send him to. It wasn't that he was hurt.
Yeah.
They go, oh, he stepped away for personal reasons. Yeah, his personal reason was, I want out of LA.
Yep.
So
Interesting guy, man. Interesting guy. We'll see what he does there. Hopefully he, has a good run. I mean, he has flares of brilliance. He really does. He's just inconsistent, and when he is on, he's not necessarily leveling up his teammates. He's just leveling himself up, which, yeah, that might get you 1 or 2 games in a 5-game series, 7-game series,
Right.
but it's not going to get you a championship, unfortunately.
Right. He's been playing. Actually, he's playing pretty good this year. He's
Yeah.
averaging almost 26, maybe something like a game.
Yeah, for sure.
And he can. And one thing about him, he can get you. He will pass the ball. He get you some assists. So I think one benefit, what I was hearing about today is would help Cleveland, is he can make their big men better because he's throwing the law pass. feed him on the inside. They take the pressure off of him. Because think about something. Him and Donovan Mitchell. James can make a shot. Donovan can make a shot. You get your bigs involved. Who are you gonna? Which are you gonna leave them by themselves? You're not. And when you say you got somebody go with double teaming them, James will find the guys on the inside, and like I'm talking about, they were talking about, it could really help Jared Allen and Evan Mobley a lot because he'll get them more involved in the game.
All right, so let me see what you're gonna call. You guys are currently 9 games over 500. How are you gonna finish the season with this move? And you guys are sitting 5th in the Eastern Conference. You guys gonna be able to get to the top 3?
I think they got a chance.
Yeah,
I do. I do believe that they have a chance because you know what, the East is wide open, even with Detroit. But the East is wide open.
I mean, you say wide open. I don't know if it's wide open, but yeah,
Well,
there's some room.
they're only. You think about something. They're capable of beating Detroit, which they have beat them this year. I said they can beat any team. A team to give Cleveland problems, even without Tatum. Boston.
Yeah, and
I
they're
can't
playing
figure
well.
out.
Yeah.
Boston. I can't figure out why they can't beat the Celtics.
Well, Boston's got this third best scoring differential in the league.
Yeah.
Without him.
Yeah.
That says a
Tatum.
lot. Yeah,
That's what
insane.
I'm saying. And I think they played Cleveland twice this year. I think they beat them once. I think, but Boston is, come on, man, you got to be able to beat them. And
I mean, it's all going to go through the West, but yeah,
oh yeah, of course,
we'll
you got
see.
Oklahoma City, so it's going to be anybody from the East against OKC.
Well, dude, seeing Wembanyama in the playoffs though is going to be awesome.
But
see what he can do.
You know who gives Oklahoma City fits?
Who's that?
The Spurs.
That's what oh yeah, they beat him twice this year.
And they play tonight.
Yeah. Oh, are they really? Nice.
Yeah, they play tonight.
So, no, I think the West is gonna. I think the championship will probably come. The champion will probably come from the West, but it'll be interesting. It'll be a fun playoff to watch.
Right.
But yeah, a lot of basketball still to go. We'll see what these how these trades really pan out for these teams and these players, but time will tell. We'll see.
I have a question for you though.
Yeah.
Are you going to watch the All-Star game?
Nah, I'm not even gonna bother.
I don't watch it.
You know what's funny, and this is how quickly I get checked out after the Niners are out. I didn't even realize the Super Bowl was this Sunday.
Did you not?
I'm just like, whatever. I was reminded today only actually because the Waste Management Open starts tomorrow.
Right.
So, and I always know that's always Super Bowl Sunday. I was like, oh man, so the Super Bowl's this Sunday. I was like, geez, I didn't even think about that.
I mean, yeah, it is. We'll see what happens. Who do you? I mean, so do you think Seattle is going to blow them out?
How big of a number do you call a blowout? 15 plus?
Yeah.
So 2 touchdowns?
Yeah.
I think they definitely could. I think it might be closer to like 10 to 12 points, but they could definitely blow them out.
Dude, their defense looks good, man.
Solid.
The only way Seattle won't win if you get the old Sam Darnold.
I was gonna say Darnold's the only, but that's the thing. He hasn't been
Not this year, he hasn't.
In the playoffs. He hasn't.
Right.
During the season, he had a ton of turnovers. I think he led the league in starting quarterbacks or whatever in turnovers. But playoff time, he stepped up. And granted, I'm sure a lot of it has to do with the play calling and knowing your defense is going to step up on the other side of it. Right. You don't have to be as aggressive, throw down the field as much. And their running game, I mean, Jesus, they were running like 8 yards per run against us.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, it's wild.
Speaking of us, did you hear about what happened?
I don't think so.
The Niners they are sending Mac Jones to the Jets.
Yeah, we knew we weren't going to be able to keep him. He played too well. His stock just shot straight up when he helped us win those games as a backup. Now, I don't think that's great for Mac Jones. But
and the thing of it
at least he's going to have a chance to start there.
I think he did well because of the system, of the Niners system.
Well, yeah, I agree with that. I think he found something that really worked well for him.
Right.
But hopefully he can take that with him. Hopefully he can go somewhere new and be successful because he's an awesome guy. And, being, kind of short-lived in the Patriot land, I mean, the potential was there. So when we had a chance to get him, that was amazing. But
You see who the defensive coordinator is?
ours,
Yeah,
yeah, I was happy about that.
Raheem Morris.
Yeah, I think that's a. I mean, again, when you lose a guy like Saul, it's tough to replace. We
Oh
saw
yeah.
that already. I mean, we Saul left and we got him back as soon as we could.
Well,
So
they're talking about. I was reading. Don't know how true it is, because Joey Bosa is gonna be a free agent, and that just I don't know if it's real or not. I've been checking. He's talking. They said he's talking about playing with his brother.
So, I mean, imagine the ability to do that. I mean, I'm sure you'd give up a couple $1 million in order to do that. I would think so.
He played. I mean, he played good for Buffalo last year. He
Yeah.
did play good.
Yeah. So, but I'm saying, like, if we had to bring him in a little bit lower than he wants, I would think he would accept that. What's crazy is we got through our cap transition period with what 12 wins this season or what it was like.
Mm-hmm.
We have one of the lowest like cap hits in the league for next year.
Right.
So we're in a position, and we drop Ayuk's, and that's a big part of it too. The fact that we aren't carrying that contract, dude, we're in a position where we should be able to add some serious talent to help us
Bro,
next year.
You know what? What happened to him, bro? Think about that.
I think somebody got in his head. I think he let
Who?
or people get in his head.
What? Tell him you don't need to make no money?
Tell him that he's bigger than the organization. Get him believing that his way is the right way and the only way he has to do things.
And they voided his contract.
Well, I didn't say it was right, obviously. Whoever guided him, whoever he listened to is completely wrong and did not do him any service.
No, because then he got that. But then he decides, you know what? I'm going to go speeding by the stadium.
Well, here's the second problem with that is now you're gonna be looked at totally different. You're not gonna be able to demand the same kind of money because you're gonna look like a risk, a much higher risk now.
Oh yeah.
On top of the injuries, obviously, but the fact that you just can't even rehab the way the team wants you to and follow their directions and all these
Right.
things and
He wasn't even going.
nothing.
No.
So
I'm not going.
yeah, whoever he listened to, man, whew, they did not have his best interest at heart.
I hope they have money.
Well, we know that's probably not the case because he has none now.
Right. Well, I mean, he should have some. He made some money in the league, so
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, you see how fast that money goes.
yeah,
40 million turns into 10 really fast.
yeah. Especially when you got 15 people in your entourage.
Well, yeah, but I mean, just everybody. You got managers, agents, all these things. Taxman comes collecting.
Family.
You know what? I will say the fastest thing I ever saw happen. I have never seen 49 million turn to zero so fast. that is the fastest way I've seen anybody lose that much money.
Right.
That was incredible.
What are you gonna do? I'm not coming to rehab. Well, why not? I don't want to. I'm not coming tomorrow either. Just so you know, I'm not coming. Okay. Well, guess what? We're not paying you.
Yeah, dude, freaking crazy.
I did not grasp that at all, bro. Get it?
Well, hey, dude, Super Bowl Sunday. If I am watching it, it's probably more about the commercials at this point. So
That's about all I want. Unless my team is actually in there. That's
Yeah.
what I usually like.
Hey, so I'll give a shout out to Patrick Ward, my buddy. He's one of the data scientists for Seattle. I hit him up today. I said, you guys better bring home the ring this time. So super excited for him to be back, to have the opportunity for the Seahawks to win it. Obviously they're a division rival for us, and I will never root for Seattle except for this one circumstance where they have a chance to win a Super Bowl, and he's part of that team. So that's really cool. So
That is cool. Well, you know what? I know they're our rival, but I can't. But I hate the Patriots even worse. So.
I know. How funny is that? So, hey, let's go Seattle, man. I mean, again, I know this is recorded. This is probably the only time you'll ever hear me say this, but let's go Seahawks.
Right.
My cousin's a diehard fan too. So at least I know some people that are big fans, and the fact that he gets to work with them and has a chance to win it is pretty awesome.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. That would be cool.
All right, so I do want to bring up this pretty incredible story. Lindsey Vonn. Dude, she is something else. So she tears her ACL in a competition like a week or two ago, and she's still going to compete in the Olympics. Now, I know, some ACLs, depending on what you're doing, it's not a huge thing, but you know how much pressure they're putting on their legs and their knees and all that? I mean, that's insane, dude.
During that event, yeah.
If she shows up and she wins a medal with that thing, she's going to go down just as like a freaking titan of the. I mean, she already is, right? She's already a titan of the sport, but that's epic. That's like that's honestly, ironically, since they did it, but it's almost like Tiger Woods coming back and winning the Masters after all the stuff he was gone through.
You ever watch the Winter Olympics?
Yeah, I love Winter Olympics. Yeah, dude, bobsled's always a blast. Dude, the skeleton race and bobsled, those are always entertaining because you never know if they're going to crash, if they're going to fall out, or whatnot.
You know what? I like the speed skating.
Speed skating is awesome. It's so strategic. It was funny. There was this one race where it was the short program, right, or whatever it was, short course, right, and they go really slow the first like 5 laps typically or something like that, and then they just all like sprint. This girl, and I forget what country she's from, out the gate she's just flying and throws them all off, and they didn't know what to do, so they just kept with their usual strategy, and she won by like a lap and a half because there was just no way for them to catch her. Like it was just. It's one of those unwritten rules where that's just how people approach it. And she's like, screw this, I'm just going to go all out. And she just tore him up.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was funny.
I like that. And I told you, bro, we can get in shape and we can compete at the curling event.
Yeah. I don't know, man. My knees. I mean, granted, you're on ice, so it'll help your knees. But my knees, I don't know. Lower back and knees, that's an awkward position. And they have some flexibility too. They get down there.
The funniest part about the curling is you have that person at the end who has their head almost on that ball or whatever it is.
Oh yeah, just staring it down. Yeah. It's wild.
Is it going somewhere?
Yeah. Oh, dude. I mean, it is funny to see sports like that where they take it to a whole different level. It's just wild.
Right.
So speaking of injuries, you hear about Jon Jones?
Yes, he got to have a hip replacement.
Dude, and he still wants to fight.
Yeah, he wants to fight some kind of event they have at the White House.
Yeah. This is Trump's whole whatever idea of let's do a fight on the White House lawn. Like, okay, I guess that's a thing. But dude, a hip replacement and you're going to fight? That's insane.
He wants to. He wants to fight someone. Don't know who, but if that was me, knowing he needs a hip replacement, what do you think I'm going to be concentrating on?
I mean, that's pretty wild, dude. I mean, that's pretty crazy. I mean, it says severe arthritis. I do wonder kind of if that is all from his career or that's more genetic or what, because
it's probably
he's pretty young.
But he's had a lot of fights.
Yeah, but arthritis, I mean, yeah, I mean, I can see it. It's just, that's wild. And a hip replacement, and I still want to go out there and fight. Like, geez Louise, man, that's asking for a bad outcome in my mind.
Right. Yeah, so it's I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't.
No, dude.
I'll just tell you straight up.
I mean, there's certain things where the ability to walk is more important to me than to fight on the White House lawn.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like, end of his career, he's already passed everything. He's done with it pretty much. Why go do that and just risk? Why risk it?
I'm thinking, dude, you have enough money.
That's a good point. That could be a concern.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. That's pretty wild. Because that's usually what I think about when these fighters just keep fighting. This one just seems more like almost like an ego thing, which is weird. But I know hip replacements have come a long way over the years.
Not that, bro.
Yeah, they're still such a
risky
thing.
You may get a titanium hip or whatever, but the doctor is not telling you can go out there and be a UFC fighter.
No. Hey, so the one thing I did want to bring up, because we called it out. Hey, high five to you and I. We were both 100% accurate. Australian Open. Of course, Alcaraz ran away with it again. And we didn't get an American in the final, unfortunately. Of course, it was Djokovic. But, dude, Alcaraz, what is it about tennis where you have one player just go on these crazy runs?
He's on a run like
And it's like
crazy.
every 10 years. I mean, Federer, Nadal, Djokovic, now
He,
him.
yeah, I was saying he's just on one of those runs, bro.
And
Like,
they're never American. To your
no,
point last time, we don't have the American
no.
players that every other country seems to have when it comes to
Hey,
tennis.
so I asked, why is that? I said, why is that though?
Honestly, that's a good question. I think maybe um, think about think about where tennis really originates. It's a country club sport, right?
Right.
I don't think that the majority of kids who are growing up in that world now
Right.
are gonna gravitate toward tennis. They're gonna probably go golf, which is a crazy thought, or they're gonna not go into sports at all. I don't know. I mean, that's my thought. You think about these powerful guys, they're probably gonna play another sport. I mean, if you get a 6'7" guy who can hit the ball 150 miles an hour, he could possibly go play basketball. I mean, he could do something else possibly. I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know. It's interesting. Um, but yeah, all the talent just comes from other countries this day and age. It's weird. I mean, we have a couple, which is great, but we don't have anybody going on any kind of runs like this.
Yeah,
I mean, Sampras, Agassi were our only guys that went on crazy runs in the
well, I
last,
mean, they can do that.
what,
but think
30,
about
40
something.
years?
Yeah, but you also had, you know, Tim Duncan's first sport was not basketball.
Well, that's what's funny about basketball is you get a lot of these guys who don't even play basketball till like high school, maybe.
Tim Duncan was a swimmer.
Okay, that's just insane.
No, seriously, he was a swimmer. He's from the Bahamas.
Yeah.
He was a swimmer in the Bahamas.
Well, doesn't everybody swim in the Bahamas?
Well, but that was his sport. He didn't play basketball.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know, man. It's a good question. I mean, hopefully we can get some of these Americans to perform a little bit better, especially in the majors. But it's tough. I mean, we have a couple American women that are close.
Right.
You definitely see, I think, more on the women's side where somebody who could be kind of high ranked or not even ranked kind of come out of nowhere and play well in a major. You don't really see that in the men's team. They're just too dominant. You got Djokovic and Alcaraz that are just always going to be there dominating. So it is a much tougher thing on the men's side.
So who you got this weekend? Waste Management Open.
Dude, I mean, is Scotty playing? If Scotty shows up, he's more than likely going to win, which is annoying to me.
Why don't you hey, what is your love-hate relationship with Scottie Scheffler?
I'm just not a fan of the guy. I just not a fan of his personality. One of the things I do appreciate about him, two things. One, he came up through the ranks, right? So he really went through the secondary tour and came up through there. But two, he's unorthodox with his swing, which I appreciate because, I think people still have this weird concept that you have to swing a certain way. I know Tiger's 2001 or whatever swing was like the prototypical swing to have, and Adam Scott practically mirrored that without the exact same success, of course. But he is unconventional with his swing. I mean, his feet are never still. He's always kicking his feet out, especially when he's teeing off. So that I do appreciate, but it's just not a huge fan. I mean, if I'm gonna root for somebody, it's gonna be somebody more like Spieth, who gets fired up, is funny. It's funny that we're talking about golf because a lot of changes with the tour with live golfers coming back, which, I mean, they have to be just laughing their ass off. For one, they cashed in big, got paid millions of dollars, and now some of them, depending on when they played in live last, didn't even have to skip a beat and are right back on tour. That to me is crazy. I know they just created a specific rule where you have to wait a year. You have to have a year cooling off period from your last live event. And the last official event, I think, was in August. So a lot of these guys are trying to figure out if they want to continue live or they just say, hey, we're already halfway there. Let's just not play golf for a couple months and join the tour again, which, I mean, dude, somebody like a John Rahm I would love to see come back, right? And again, they cashed in and they can come back on tour. That's wild.
Right.
The only win that live has had is they are finally, which again, this was one of the dumbest things in my mind. They never got world ranking points. They finally have world ranking points. I think there's 25 different golf circuits in the world that get points, and they're finally one of them. I mean, come on, right? So that's huge. That's especially huge for the guys who are going to stay on the live. But I think there's specific things like only top 10 get points, and they actually changed the whole format to 72 holes instead of 54. But it'll be interesting. It looks like the agreement's never going to come to fruition, so they're never really going to have some kind of combined agreement on how they work together. I guess they're still going to just stay separate, but these guys are coming back. I mean, it's interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like you said, they went and made their money, and the joke's on the men's side, the PGA.
Well, PGA, and then a lot of the guys who really kind of went to bat for the PGA. I mean, Rory was just such a huge advocate of, we have the best tour, we're doing things the right way, blah, 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 blah. And then the tour basically spit in his face multiple times and let him down. So it's crazy. And the commentators like Chambly, he's been the loudest proponent or advocate of the PGA versus live and how horrible these people are for going to live. Which again, I always thought was definitely the pot calling the kettle black. But hey, these guys made out. It's crazy. One thing I just can't get into. I can't get into this whole TGL league, the indoor league that they've got going on. I just have no interest in watching that at all. Have you watched that? They made a few changes. They actually hit off of real grass now. I mean, they're hitting into this like IMAX size screen. But it's just, dude, it's indoors, and it's, I don't know, it's weird. It's virtual golf. It's like a hybrid of virtual golf, and just don't care about it at all, to be honest. I think the most interesting in golf this year is going to be Tiger Woods as usual. Is he going to play on tour? Is he going to go to senior tour? How long till he's healthy enough to even step up on the tee and play in an event? We'll see. But him going to the senior tour will be interesting. I think he's become very self-aware over the years, and he's not as, I think he's more willing to do it now than if you asked me 5 years ago. Like, oh, he's never going to go on the senior tour. All his friends are out there, for one. So right. To him, it's probably just a fun weekend of golf with his buddies. And it's competitive, which is nice. And he has a chance to win more majors. I mean, they have senior major events, so he can go win this U.S. Senior Open now. How many of those is he going to possibly win?
Who knows?
That's a question for you. If he wins senior majors, do those count as total majors? And does he
No.
go? No, why not?
I mean, it's two different circuits.
It's a major. A major is a major.
Yeah. Come on, bro. I just like saying that your touchdown from college counting pros.
Fair. That's a good one. All right.
But bro, is Phil still playing?
Yeah, I think he still plays on Live. He's kind of not even relevant unless he's making comments about other people or about other things, which is funny. I think one of the biggest things, I think he called out to, several golfers did, but Vijay Singh, again, this is insane. Vijay Singh was scheduled to play in an event based off of his like lifetime earnings or major wins or something along those lines. He was exempt and eligible, and he basically took somebody else's spot to come play on tour at the age of who knows what, which was insane to a lot of people because you have these guys fighting for spots on tour. They made so many shifts in how they allow people to qualify in the size of the fields lately, last year or two, that it's tough for anybody outside the top 20 to be consistent and actually get in events and everything like that. So that's crazy. But yeah, I think Phil made some comments about that. Phil's always entertaining in that sense. He's relevant when he opens his mouth for entertainment purposes, but
right.
From a golf perspective, no.
Gotcha.
I mean, he's one of those guys. I mean, we saw Tom Watson have a chance at winning the British Open years ago when he was like 50-something, 60. Phil's one of those guys. He could play in an event like a Masters or something and find lightning in a bottle, possibly, where just everything goes right for him and he could possibly win, which would be insane. But
Right.
for the most part, he's
Hey, okay, I'm out. Jack was an older man when he won.
yes, he was older. Not yeah, different game too. When he was older, he didn't have this kind of youth competition and all those
Right.
things, right? I mean, dude, I think the average driving distance now is like 308. That's average. That's insane.
Remember when John Daly first came on? How he was
Oh,
Kill-
he was
killing that
so
ball.
far past everybody. He was averaging like 325 when that tour average was like 270. He was nuts. Yeah. I mean, him and Tiger both. They dominated when they won. They dominated with their length off the tee. I mean, Tiger won in so many different ways, but yeah, same thing. His ability to hit it so
mile.
far back then to a balata ball, like technology wise, was just so inferior to what we have now. It's crazy.
Imagine if he was a younger John Daly with all the technology they got going now, how much further he can hit that golf ball right now.
Yeah, he'd probably be doing more long drive stuff, which is funny. His son's pretty solid. His son's his size. He's a big burly kid.
Right.
And he can hit it far. He can
What
hit it far
about Tiger?
too.
What Tiger's son?
He's just gonna be. I mean, he leaned out decently, so he's got a little bit of weight on him now. He was just such a scrawny kid, but he's still tiny. But he can hit it for his age and size for sure. I mean, when you have somebody like that, well, when you have like a $35 million home with a $10 million golf course in your backyard, you should grow up playing decent golf. Just saying.
Right.
All right, well, let's finish up with this. I'm curious to know, you talked about it today, but MLB, how are they going to fix this giant problem they have of just the disparity that does not exist across the league in terms of being able to buy your championships?
Right.
So I know we talked about it before. Did the Dodgers ruin baseball forever? I think everybody's thinking that because now they're looking at making some changes. So
Yeah. Talking about putting the salary cap.
yeah. So what are your thoughts on that? Do you think they'll be able to figure it out in the before next season?
No.
I guess not next season. Before
I think-
27. Maybe.
I think they need one because it's not going to be fair. I mean, granted, the smaller market teams, they would never be able to compete with the Dodgers and the Yankees. Not even close at all. So you think about something. You'd either have the Yankees on one side, the Dodgers on the other side, and because people say, well, these people have money. No, they're not owned by people who own cable companies. The Yankees are, and the Dodgers are. So they got the deepest pockets of anybody in baseball.
Yeah, so here's projected for this coming season. Dodgers $416 million.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is where it gets stupid. And this is why people say Dodgers are in baseball. They're almost $100 million more than the second place team of the Mets. Now imagine where the bottom teams are. They're like 25 million.
Not even
60
close.
million, if
Right.
that.
I mean, think about the Mets. That contract they gave Juan Soto was ridiculous.
Well, yeah, I don't disagree with that at all.
I mean, what did he do last year?
Oh, I mean, he had some spurts for sure. But again, for that kind of money, you could have paid 3 pitchers. God.
That's what they needed.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's what they needed last year because they completely tanked.
Right. I mean, I don't know. If I was the owner of this team, and I'm looking at like, I've invested a lot of money in you, bro. A lot. 700, something like million reasons why that you should be giving. I should be getting more production out of you. Maybe you can be a two-way player. I'm paying you this money. Maybe you should try to pitch, do something.
Right? I mean, but that's what's funny is when you think about that. Even in reality, Dodgers got Ohtani at a discount. If you
They
think
did.
about him playing as a two-way player,
Right.
and some of these other contracts that have been coming out since then. But yeah, so bottom of the barrel, Marlins $47 million last year. So
But
it's
think
impossible.
think about this.
I don't know how they're going to implement it. I don't
I don't
because you're going to have to. You can't have just this huge righting of the ship all at once. Yeah, I don't know. It'll be
But I'm saying,
interesting.
it's never going to be fair, right? Good. I'm like this. If you got the money and you can the ways and the means to do it, by all means, go for it. But it's so one. It's not even close. But it's so one-sided.
Dude, that's so
And,
lopsided. It's
and
insane.
you can say that. Well, these Dodgers. Who's it been? Dodgers, Yankees. Because they got the most money they can spend, and the Dodgers just they keep signing all these good players who come from overseas.
Oh yeah, that's nuts.
They just keep. They say the rich keep getting richer. They do. I mean, that's sad, but like I said,
So here's what's really crazy. This I didn't even think about this, but this is nuts. So what's really makes the payrolls just absurd is that 95% of the Dodgers payroll for 26 is guaranteed. Where you look at Miami, only 50% is. So you're not going to be able to entice anybody to come to
No.
your team if almost all the money's guaranteed. It's insane, dude.
that's why they go there.
Yeah.
Because they gonna get paid. I mean,
That's nuts.
think about it. Dodgers, Miami. Where you go? Who's gonna win the championship? Ain't nobody saying the Marlins are gonna win.
Dude, they're looking at $415 million in commitments in 2027. So they're locked up for a couple of years too. That's the thing too, is you have these huge contracts that are long now. It'll be interesting. I don't think they're going to be able to. Maybe they can help a little bit over the next couple of years, but
Help them what?
shift a little bit. I mean, you got to be able to bring the ends a little bit closer to middle. You're not going to come close to middle,
No.
but you're going to start to shift a little bit, I think.
Think about something. You got
Here's the only way they could do it, right? Is profit sharing. If you're gonna if you're gonna have it completely lopsided on the profit sharing side,
right.
then yeah, a team like Miami could help. They could compete more, right? Like, hey, if your payroll's over this already, you're only gonna get 5%, whereas Miami's gonna get 30%. I don't know. Who knows?
So what?
But
So what you're saying is you want the other teams to shell out some of their money to help out other teams?
I'm sorry, are we talking about the WNBA again?
but you get what I'm saying, you know.
No,
Oh.
I get it. It's yeah. I mean, they have the money for a reason.
Right.
The owners have it, and they have several investors, whatever it is. But yeah, it's wild. I mean, maybe, and honestly, maybe the fix isn't even the money, because I think the solution could also be how they organize the two halves of the season. I know we brought that up
Right.
before. It's like, hey, if you had two different playoff runs, you wouldn't have these teams shedding their top players so these other teams can pick them up.
Right.
Right? They'd stick with them instead of just dumping them as soon as they can. So I think there might be other solutions that can help alleviate it too, but there's no way it's going to be just a one solve fix
So
or immediate. But
that's how they do it in the minors. In the minors, you play your season in two. You have a first half champion, and you have a second half. In the minor leagues, that's how some leagues are set up like that.
well, they should definitely adopt that, because it'd be very helpful. So
Would it make a difference?
I think so, for sure. I mean, for example, the Mets would have got in, because they would have got in the first half, right? Although,
Well,
again,
yeah.
that's a high salary team. But I'm just saying, if you look at the trades, I'm sure there'd be a couple guys who would not have gotten traded,
Right.
because they still have a whole second half of the season to try and get in the playoffs. So why dump your top players and just try to save cap room and all these things? So I think it definitely would, but who knows?
We'll see.
All right, man. Well, hey, always enjoy this. We are off to a new season. We're going to try and get you some more content, get some more videos. We'll definitely get that flying toupee on this one.
You got
I'm telling you, man. Some
got-
people,
hey,
some people.
we
The
gotta
wrong
get
glue. He got the wrong glue. He's going to be going back to that shop. Like, man.
Well, I'm saying, bro, you
Was it
embarrassed
Elmer's
me.
glue?
Yeah, you embarrassed me on national TV. Come on,
Dude.
bro. I'm interested seriously to know what did they have? How did they not attach it right?
Here's what he needs to do. He needs to reach out to a like industrial strength, like Hollywood makeup artist glue company and say, hey, sponsor me, put it on my head. I'm gonna go fight again, and it's not gonna come off, and we're gonna make some money. I'm just saying, dude. That's easy money right there. He can easily sell that. Easily sell that.
Bro.
I'm telling you, that'd be great. He doesn't have to do a commercial. It's just before and after. First fight, I ended up without hair. Show a picture of the hair sitting on the front row of somebody's lap, like it's sitting in somebody's popcorn.
Before,
And then the second one, he's like, "No, I still got it. See, it's still on. It stayed with me."
Before and after.
Yeah.
Hey, this is what happened before. Now look.
But hey, man, always a pleasure. Love doing this with you. We'll continue to bring some latest with sports to all y'all, and we'll get some guests on here too. So we'll start rocking some additional opinions.
Remember our goal, bro.
I know, 100,000.
Who's ever listening, our goal is to reach 100,000 followers, subscribers. So that's what we're trying to do. We're hoping to at least be halfway there by July, hopefully.
You know what would be awesome about that? See, here's the thing, and here's how we can get 100,000 followers. They only have to listen to, I believe, 3 minutes, because I think 300,000 is a threshold we need to hit for listening hours. Right. So all you got to do is listen to 3 hours a month,
and just
you're good.
Subscribe, leave comments, leave feedback. I mean, we're open to that feedback, but we're also, hey, tell us how we're doing. And
yeah, I would love to have you and I be able to face some criticism in our opinions and back those up one episode. I have no problem with that.
But you know what?
Or bring on somebody who is maybe a Chiefs fan or something like that. I don't know.
But the thing of it is, I've had some people say that they fact check what we say. Now, hold on. It's what they told me. They said, we have facts. You guys are right, so we can't. The fact check didn't go good.
Here's the thing: is we're not. Yes, I prefer to provide facts, but most of this is still our opinion. So, and I have no problem backing up my opinion,
right? Exactly.
And hearing other people's, especially when it comes behind facts and, a strong viewpoint of any subject. I love that. I love people who are opinionated but have the stats that at least support their opinion. They don't have to be right, but they can at least back it up with that kind of information. I love that. That's always great.
But what I said was, like we talked about before, you should at least try to make sure that you're somewhere in the ballpark of what you're saying, because you want to try to have it, pretty good. But anyway, always good topping up with you and having fun. Sponsors, we're still looking for sponsors. I don't care. We start with the smallest sponsor in the world. We just try to get going and keep it going, because we enjoy it. I know I enjoy chatting up with you, man, and I'm hoping that we put out the product.
You should reach out to Sherwin-Williams and tell them your wall is a special red paint of Sherwin-Williams. See if they'll sponsor us.
Hey, bro.
Is that it? It's custom.
It's not red.
See, that's my point. It's a special color, isn't it? Yeah. See.
It's scarlet.
Ah, there you go. See. Hey, man, I'm always thinking here. I
gotta represent. It's Ohio State. Hey, you see it.
No, I get it. It's perfect.
It matches that.
Yeah. All right. Well, always a pleasure. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this one, and can't wait till do it again.
All right, brother.
Take care, everybody.
Yep.